Outdated marketing materials are not the reason that you're not growing. Big results don't come from better websites or more sophisticated marketing brochures. Breakthroughs come from knowing with absolute certainty how you create value and the difference that it makes. If you are not yet clear about the unique nature of your value proposition and how you uniquely create value through your own style, your growth will always hit a ceiling and you will never break through to the new levels of revenue you envision, no matter how much you change your marketing. I'm Michelle Sorgaroli, and I coach seven-figure business owners who are unsatisfied and stuck because they want to compete authentically, they want to stand out, and they want to generate results that actually matter. So let's talk about my client. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah had been in the business for about 5 years, and she called me one day in desperation. She was feeling really deflated, very insecure, and realizing that she wasn't getting the results that she thought she could, and she didn't know why. Sarah was really struggling. So when she called me, she'd been in business for about 5 years. She had a really good level of expertise. She knew her craft really well, and she was actually very confident. She knew who she was. The problem was that she didn't trust her confidence. She didn't trust that she could be herself. She didn't trust that if she showed up with her authentic style, that it would generate better results. And why would she think that? Most of us feel that a part of us is too much. Now, Sarah, what she learned was that she said, I'm too strong. I'm too opinionated. Her marketing materials were fair. They were fine. There was nothing exceptional about them, but they weren't the thing that was getting in the way. And that's what she thought. She thought, I need better marketing materials. She also thought she needed better systems. She thought that was the problem, and that's why she wasn't growing. But in fact, what was the real problem was that she was tentative with her value proposition. And what we did was we worked together for several months. And during that time, it became crystal clear that she is a dynamic, very strong, intelligent thinker who had opinions that were very well formed. And she felt that her strength was too much. She felt that her strength was getting in the way. And what we determined was that those strong opinions that she felt would turn clients off or turn them away, those strong opinions, once she understood the inherent value of them and how to bring them forward in a way that was receivable and accessible for her clients, she was much more courageous. The other thing that happened was she realized that she was strong because she felt so strongly about advocating for her clients' well-being and the benefit that she wanted for them. So deep down under it all, Sarah was an advocate. Once she realized that her strong opinions were about advocacy, once she realized that she was able to create more value by having strong opinions and that clients wanted those opinions from her so that they could lean into her strength and her advocacy on her behalf, once she realized that, it was a turning point for her. She no longer held back, and she learned that the clients who were uncomfortable with her strength were not the right clients for her. The clients who ended up really stepping in and leaning into her unique style of opinions and advocacy, those clients not only turned in to be extremely loyal clients who brought her more business, they ended up being the clients who referred her more business. They became her best advocates. Not only did her business turn around and multiply very rapidly as she changed into this acceptance of her unique and authentic self. Once that came forward, the whole game changed. Her business changed and her advocacy changed. And this is what happens when we better understand the value of our unique style and what we are trying to create, why it's important. So many of my clients come to me thinking that they need more professional website that it's getting in the way, or maybe their marketing collateral, their PowerPoint presentations, or their brochures. Maybe they feel that they need a takeaway, or they need something, sorry, not a takeaway, they need something like a leave behind. They come to me thinking that it's not enough, that their professional presence, whether it's collateral, digital presence, online, whatever it is, it's not adequate. And what I want to tell you is that it's fine the way it is. That's not the reason you're not growing. Sarah didn't change anything. She didn't change any of her marketing materials. What she changed was simply how she showed up, and she had much more clarity and conviction in her messaging. So if you believe that what you're already doing is not enough, and you think that you need better materials to support you, those materials are absolutely valuable. They're tools. Those tools will help you do what you're already doing. They will amplify what you're already doing. But without the clarity and conviction in your unique style and understanding what makes it valuable, without that, no breakthrough can possibly happen, because the materials that you will generate, the marketing materials that you will create, the improvements in your website, the better brochures that you make will be simply iterations or small improvements on what you are already doing. The breakthrough comes from the clarity in understanding what it is that is uniquely valuable about you and your style. So if you get locked into this idea that your materials or how it is that you're designing your business is the next step for breakthrough, that part of you is holding you back. Breakthroughs, and I mean real breakthroughs, like doubling, 5 timesing, 10 timesing your business. If you want to grow to that level, that requires a breakthrough in your own way of thinking about how you create value. You're not tapping into your unique potential yet. So let's break this down for you into 3 ways that you can uniquely amplify what you are currently holding back and not tapping into. The first step is to think about, what is it that you're told is too much? Maybe you're too analytical. Maybe you're too opinionated. Maybe you're too outgoing. But people will tell you you're too much. There's something about your too much, if you will, the part of you that you are holding back because you've been told for your whole life that it is not serving you and it's inhibiting your ability to create relationships. That may be true in family dynamics, possibly even friendships. In your business, it's different. When you are holding back, you are actually holding back your potential. The thing that makes you too much about your style is the very thing that is going to create the breakthrough that you want. So give some thought about what the too much is. The next thing we want you to do, the reason we think it's too much, so once you've identified what that is, the next thing to do is think about what is the value inside of it? So very often, just like with our example with Sarah, the too much being too opinionated, if you don't know how to create value from that style, if you don't know what is valuable about that style, it is obviously natural to hold back because it can be seen as simply too much. So once you identify what it is that's too much, now flip it and think, what's the gift inside of this? What is this too muchness trying to create? What is the value it's trying to generate? How does it want to be expressed to make the world a better place? When you understand how to attribute value to what makes you too much, now you are tapping into the untapped potential in your business. So that from there, once you understand the value that you can attribute or the gifts inside that too much, you can now start thinking about, how does it need to show up in my value proposition? Where does it show up in my relationships with clients? Where does it show up in my work? Where am I holding back in my processes, in my systems, where my too muchness is not yet fully expressed and the value from it is not yet being tapped into or released? Think about how you've structured your business and figure out where in your promises, where in your value proposition is your too muchness not even represented, because until now you've been trying to hold it back. Maybe you've been trying to hide it, or maybe you've been trying to dim it down. No, don't be so much, whatever that is. It is not being fully expressed. So step 1, figure out what it is. Step 2, attribute value to it. And step 3, understand how to now build it into your business structures and processes and systems and your value proposition. There's so much more to do here, but if you can start understanding where you're holding yourself back, that is the beginning of the breakthrough. That is the very starting point for the breakthrough that you want. And there's no other way to get there, because everything else that you do will be incremental. No big breakthrough can happen by making incremental improvements to your existing system. There must be a change in how you experience, how you acknowledge, and how you embody your greatest potential for creating value. And that's what we're going to explore through the understanding of your too muchness. So it's not your marketing materials. Now, if you want to explore more on this topic, go to my next video, which is just right up here. Go to my next video and we're going to talk about how to get clear on what that might be. How is clarity going to serve you in your business going forward? Thanks very much. We'll see you then. Bye for now.